Kalayamla, Ala Ayanawa, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Amashiach, Waha, Rakah Kwadash, Shalom, La, Ka, Akiam, Wa, Akwafiam, alright? Wa, Baya, Shadawada, alright? Shalom and double honors to the apostle GMS, okay? And then all the elders, okay, who taught us and who rule well, okay? Peace and salutation to the elect who are in the law, okay? Chanting down Babylon week in and week out, day in and day out, and keeping the faith. Shalom Wahab to the brothers and the sisters, the Akiam and the Akwafiam, who are awaiting the return of our Savior, Yahushua Mashiach, and who are keeping it 100. May the Most High have mercy on us. May His blood clean us. And, may He hear us every time we repent, because we live in a time where we need repentance, man. We need repentance. We need mercy. May He have mercy on us and, cleanse us, man. All right? And also never take away spirit, from us. Because without His spirit, that's when you start having the understanding. That's when, you start having the flow of the spirit, So we should pray for that. But it all comes down to sincerity, being sincere and being truthful, because we are in a business of truth, okay? So today, the little lesson will be, the title is, Being in this Truth Makes You a Time Traveler, all right? Being in this truth makes you a time traveler. Take full advantage of it. Okay? Take full advantage of it. Alright? So what I mean by that is, knowing the prophecies, okay? Knowing the future of Babylon. Knowing the future events that will take place. And being able to confirm it in your spirit through the event that, are occurring right now, that makes you a time traveler. Because if you look at it, your spirit time travel to see what was going to take place. That's why you're able to do this work with so much passion, okay? With so much zeal, and having that, how do you call it, tunnel vision. Your spirit time travel, man. Because the nature of Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, is being able to, write what's going to take place. Okay? And before I even carry on with what I'm saying, let's read common precept that we know, that we already came across, that we already read while we're preaching. There are two of these time traveling precepts. Okay, because when you hear time traveling, you might think, oh, left and side. No, we time travelers too. And I'll break it down. We time travelers, man. I was having this conversation with the brother Lachama, because, me and him have our little school, which we call, the school of the prophet in the bottomless pit. So basically what it is that we talk a lot of things about it, the truth, about everything, that every aspect around the truth, every angle, and sometimes we'll be saying some deep things, So as I was talking, just through the spirit, I mentioned the time traveling, and I said, I'm gonna do a video on it so brother can catch the energy of it, they can understand what it is, man, So let's start with Isaiah 46, okay? Isaiah 46, yeah? and 10. And it says this: declaring the end from the beginning. All right? Declaring the end from the beginning. So that means that, Yahweh, okay, being omnipotent, okay, he's able, okay, well, he's the one that set the future anyway. Because I wanted to say he's able to see the future, which is wrong. We are able to see the future, but he's the one that set the future. So he write it. He will be like the rapper that you fear to be in the presence of, being like, every time you in a studio with that rapper and he's starting to speak bars and he's starting to speak about certain things about your life, you be like, oh Lord, have mercy on me, because everything he say comes true. And that's Yahweh. Not to compare Yahweh to a rapper, but it's literature. All right, it's figurative speech. It's comparison for people to understand. You understand what I'm saying? But this is how the Bible is. This is how the Bible speak. This is how the Bible communicate. Okay? So he says, remember the former things of old. Salakia, verse 10. Declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure. All right? Now let's go to Isaiah 48 and 3. He say, I have declared the former things from the beginning. All right? And there went forth out of my mouth, and I showed them, and did them suddenly, and it came to pass. So, in this truth, what you do, what the ability that you get is the ability to time travel. Because a lot of people read, Revelation 13 and 16 to 17, but they don't understand. They don't even believe in it. They say it's Christianity, and that's just an example. All right? But your spiritual time travel, just like John the Revelator was able to time travel, okay, where he saw it. Okay? It's like your spirit go and see the future, and he registered it in your psyche, your subconscious mind, or your conscious mind. And it's there, and you're able to really understand what's going on. Every time you see the signs playing out, through the event that's taking place, you're like, oh, okay, I get it. Right? So what that does, because you're able to time travel, you can prepare better for what's coming. That's the advantage that you have in this truth, man. This truth is a blessing. Now, having this truth, having this beautiful stone, precious stone, obviously it will come with pain. It makes sense. It's so precious that it will come with pain. Just like you will see wolves around prey. Whenever there's food, okay, you will see the wolves. So you're the food, you're the gold, you're precious. So the wolf will be around you. Okay, it's going to be hard. You're fighting demons, you're fighting temptation. Your life is hard. You're losing things, the sacrifice, the daily struggle. Why? Because you're able to time travel, man. Yeah, it makes you a visionary. Why do you think we're out there preaching the word every weekend or whenever we can? Because we time travel. We saw what's coming and we're fearful. Just like this is what happened. This is the obviously the angel showed it to Esdras, right? The angel showed it to Esdras, but for us it will be time travel, man. And we will say the same thing when we see these things. This is what happened to us. This is what happened to us, man. This is what happened to us, man. Second Esdras, all right. 16 and 17 says this. Woe, or is it woe? Yeah, woe is me. Woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? Right? Who will deliver me in those days? And even say the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall Stand in fear, the beginning of evil. What shall I do when these evil come? What shall I do when this evil comes? Time travel. We were able to see through the Spirit what's coming by reading the prophecies. We saw it. Because a lot of people read these things just like us, but they don't get it. That's why they don't believe certain prophecies. That's why they're not in the truth. Or they're in the truth, but they sell out. Or they don't take it serious. Or they come up with different doctrine. But we were able to time travel to see how deep and powerful, okay, and fearful and scary Yahweh is, man. So we're supposed to be fearful of him. Like, we're supposed to have fear. We have fear for what we see. So we go now to preach that fear, to communicate and tell the people, listen, there's a God. Yahweh is the Son, is Yahweh Shai, man. And to you Israelites, so-called black and Hispanic and Native American, your God is a very powerful God, man. He's a judge, and he's going to come for you, for those of you who are not hearkening to his voice. Time traveling allow you to do that. Please do not take it as, don't be simple. Okay, don't be simple. Time traveling just means that you're able to go in the future and see what's going to happen. Not the time traveling that Esau is trying to do, go back into time, out of body experience. Not that. It's all spiritual. Okay, and also it's literature. It's about time, brothers, catch up with the literature of the Bible, man. Certain word that we use, man. Okay, so now. Let's look at something, right? Let's look at something. Let me read Wisdom of Solomon. King Solomon was the master of time traveling, man. Because he was able to really see, to have this wisdom, man. Okay? To know, to go into space, to go into deep. When your body, your spirit goes to a certain realm to capture, to capture certain reality, man. Okay? Shalom, Malak. Malak, I'm doing a video. I'll get back to you as soon as I'm done, yeah? Alright then, shalom, Malak. Right, so Wisdom of Solomon, right? Wisdom of Solomon 7. Okay, let's start 17. It says this. For he hath given me certain knowledge of the things that are, namely, to know how the world was made and the operation of the element. When you're in this truth, you know the operation. Now you guys should read it all the way to 22. Alright? The operation of the element. How, like a man of the Lord in this truth, you know everything, man. And that's being humble. Because the way sometimes your mind functions, the way you're able to understand, where it becomes so easy to get things in that's Yahweh. And that's why you have to become humble and understand, man. Because the more you know, the more you're a target. Like, that's the reason why they're going to come to us. Because when they see us, they're seeing the ancient vibration. Oh yeah, we're coming back. The prophet are back, man. They know. The elite know. When they sit down and they talk, they say, yes, these are the real prophets. They know. But the simple, the mortals, like, low levels, they don't know nothing. They don't even understand. But those who know. All right? So we know. But we should take full advantage of it. And what do I mean by taking full advantage of it? All right? What I mean by that is this, right? Taking advantage of the knowledge and understanding, all right? Now, you got the hour of temptation. When you read Revelation, which I'm not going to read today, 13, 16, and 17, it tells you about something. And when you time travel, you see that happening. You actually see to the point where your life is made, your life is based, your life is ordered, your life is set, or is set up, is formatted around escaping. Revelation 13 and 16, 17. Because he's coming, man. The men of the Lord were able to go in the future and see what's coming. And now they are looking for what? Because when you read Ezekiel 9 and 4, we in those times, man, spare none. But he said, do not come close to those who are sighing and crying. And I believe through the Spirit that sighing and crying, all right, has to do with having as well sound doctrine, man. So all you brothers that don't believe in the reincarnation, that don't believe that Abba Bivens is John the Baptist, you lot don't have the light. You don't have the oil, man. You haven't time traveled, man. The Spirit didn't allow you to time travel to see. Why is it that it's so easy for certain people to understand it and it's not easy for other people to get it? The will of the Most High, of course. But you haven't been allowed to time travel because it's so logic. And also, I invite brother to deal, this truth deals with logic. Apply logic when you deal with this truth, man. Just as when you look at, nature, you're able to understand scriptures and life. It's the same thing. There's no confusion in this truth, man. It's the same thing. Just as you see water, the river going to the ocean, coming back. That circle, that cycle of life. That's how we go, we come back, we go, we come back. Speaking of reincarnation. Wisdom, man, and understanding is very important. So sound doctrine is very important, man. Understanding the truth and the different things. And on Saturday, I'll be talking about Abba Bivens, because some brothers don't know. And that's dangerous, because if you don't know, that means you don't believe in reincarnation. Okay? And reincarnation has to do with a lot of the end time prophecies. Oh yeah, like for example, the prophet being back. It's a spiritual thing that that has to be embedded in you for you to really be able to follow this truth and carry out, the task that you were given, man. Understanding through the Spirit that you are an old spirit coming back will set you apart, man. Because some of us just come in the truth like that. They don't understand what it is. But what we're doing is a very serious and very spiritual thing, man. This is serious. And for you brothers that know about history, I've been blessed to work in a place in this country where I saw the house of the right-hand man of what's his name again? Henry VIII, and his name was like something Thomas Cromwell. Henry VIII ended up chopping him off, chopping his head, but that was his right hand man. And when you get into it, I worked there, so I seen everything. I even took picture of it. Everything is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi all the way. How people rule this country, man. This country was set up by the Anglo-Saxon. I even have the picture of an old map when the Saxon was ruling, man. Okay? So this is real. This truth is real. This truth is no joke. It's an heritage that was given to you, man. So don't play with it. Allow the Spirit to work with you to the point where you see the future and you're able, okay, to really understand what's coming. All right? So we got the chip, all right, the time traveling that allow you to see the chip and really now you're ready to die because the hour of temptation is coming. It's a fact. Just look around you, man. Just look around you and you will see that it's coming. Okay, so why don't people believe it? We've got the Jacob trouble. Jacob troubles like that. Jacob trouble. Jeremiah 30 and 7. It's coming. It's coming. Time traveling allow you to understand that, to see, to the point where you have now to take advantage of it. And that will be my conclusion. The conclusion point will be based around what I'm saying right now, right? So you go as well the wilderness, which is Ezekiel 20, 34 to 38, if I'm not mistaken. You read that. The wilderness. You might be saved, but then you'll be brought to the wilderness. And if you did certain things, if you've been a worker of iniquity, you did certain things that are not, wasn't really in tune with what Yahweh represents, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh represents, you might be put to death, you might not see the kingdom. These are real things. That time traveling will allow you to see to the point where you take it serious, man. So now, understanding that will allow you to understand one thing. Or, should I say, will allow you to contemplate or to meditate upon one thing. And that is to understand Yahweh's main occupation. And understanding Yahweh's main occupation will lead you to strive for justification. Alright? So now let's read Yahweh occupation quickly before we carry on. We're almost done. Okay? We're almost done. We'll go to Psalm. Bear with me. Psalm 37:28 say, "For the Lord Yahweh loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his sin." His saints like you. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. So that means that Yahweh is a judge. You know how you have someone that's a president, but he went to school and he learned law. So he might be like a lawyer by trade, but he end up being a high political figure, and that allow him to be, a president, for example. All right, or the president of a country. So Yahweh is that. Yahweh is a lot of things. He has many titles, King of Terror, King of the Universe, But he's a judge. Now, you knowing that he's a judge, we like to strive for justification. What does the judge do? The judge pass judgment, man. Understanding the mark of the Marcus is coming. Understanding that Jacob trouble is coming. Understanding even after we be taken, by the chariot, we will go to the wilderness, which is another situation. We rely you to prepare, man. You know what I'm saying? To prepare. So you have an advantage if you compare yourself to your cousin that don't know nothing about the truth, that live blindly like that, and get caught up by judgment one day. You have the chance to turn things around where you're allowed to have this mercy. So it's a blessing. Because there's one thing that matters right now is avoiding the judgment that's coming. Because there's a fire that's coming. And a lot of people don't know. Our people don't know. Our parents don't know. But we know about that. So we should prepare ourselves. Okay? Right. So what does a judge do? A judge deal with balance. All right? And I believe, let me see. Proverbs 11:1 says, "A false balance is abomination to the Lord Yahweh, but a just way is his delight." So when you deal with Yahweh, dealing with balance and weight, so your good deed must outweigh your bad deed. And your good deed is what? Your righteousness. Your righteousness must outweigh your unrighteousness. But it comes with preparation. You see that? So the conclusion is, like the title says, okay, being in this truth, okay, being in this truth makes you a time traveler. So since we are a time traveler, meaning we are able to see the future, Our spirits are able to jump into the pool, the futuristic pool, to see what's coming. It allows us to prepare ourselves. So we have an edge over people. We prepared. All right? So hopefully you got what I was saying, and hopefully, that will prompt you to really take your walk in this truth very seriously, and don't follow, the multitude to sin, man. All these wayward, doctrine and those false doctrine that are coming about, probably not knowing that reincarnation is real, and Abba Bivens is John the Baptist coming back, and that, which I will talk about, Sabbath Yahweh Tazah, all of these doctrine that people are supposed to know, man. The wilderness and all of those people don't believe in the wilderness, and these like things that the people don't believe that, the two-third will be coming back in the kingdom and all of that. You have to understand this thing, because that's part of the doctrine. That's what makes you sane in this truth. That's what makes you, aware. That's what makes you circumspect. That's what makes you, a disciple. Because you can't be, in a class studying law and you don't know about certain law. You don't know about, the family law, for example. So how are you going to be able to operate if you go like a cabinet, if you go like an office, when a woman or a man come about his situation, about divorcing his wife or separating from his wife, and you got children involved? How are you able to give him, good advice if you don't know about those laws? But you say that you're going to study. You say that you went to you say that you studied law. How come you don't know that element? So we have to know all the elements. Because when a client comes, he doesn't come. A client might come today for a criminal. He's fighting a case. He was involved in a murder or whatever. A guy might be involved with dealing of whatever of narcotics. How do you call it? Of substance, illegal substance. He's fighting the case. Another guy might come with a family issue, so on and so forth. But if you say that you're a lawyer and then you're able to provide services, you have to know all of these laws. It's the same thing for us. We have to know the sound doctrines. We have to know, so we're able, because when you're out there, you are a judge. You're passing judgment. So how come you don't know about all of the what is written in the how do you call it? Oh, there's a name for that. I forgot. I can say the commandment and ordinances and that. But there's another name, there's a political name. Oh. The Constitution, I say political, they have a lawful name or whatever. The Constitution. You gotta know the Constitution, man. If you're in this truth, it's very important. Okay? Because knowing that, eating pork is illegal will allow you not to sin. Will allow you to avoid sin. Okay, so with that, I hope you were edified. I'll turn to the east and I'll give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Waha, Rakha Padash, Kwam Shalom, Israel.